I mean, I was real fortunate. Yesterday, I never got a big bite. Today, I got two. You know, and the key thing is when you get that big bite, you got to capitalize on it. You can't afford to lose them. And you know, they're thinking about spawning, and they're biting kind of funny right now. So it's easy to do. So I just feel really fortunate to catch what I caught. I mean, it took me a long time to catch them. It's, you know, you look at it when you weigh in, it's like oh, geez, you caught the heck out of them, and it was a grind. It was a grind yesterday. It'll be a grind tomorrow.
Kevin, you know, in talking with some of the other guys in the area, they talked about the spinnerbait bite drying up. Did you stick with that, or did you have to make a change?
I caught you know, some of my best fish on a spinnerbait, but I also did change up a little bit. I caught one on a crankbait. You know, I experimented a bunch yesterday, and you know, I'm assuming that I'll have to do the same thing again. You know, I'm gonna throw whatever they're gonna bite. You know, I'm gonna keep trying until they hit something.
Where does that confidence come from?
You know, I've been doing this a long time, and I don't worry about things I can't control. You know, I know what my strengths are, and I know how I like to fish, and so that's what I try to do. You know, and this is a place that fits my style real well. I'm not a guy that likes to sit around and drown a worm and, you know, drag a Cinco around, or, you know, fish super slow. So, you know, it fits my style. You know, it's not a cold weather situation where you got to punch mats and things like that. Even that's a little tough for me, but, you know, you got to believe that you can win. And, you know, one of my sayings is it's all about attitude. And, you know, if you got a good attitude, good things generally happen. If you got a bad attitude, you know, bad things are probably going to happen to you. So I just keep telling myself that, hey, it's going to happen. You're going to get a good bite. And sometimes it does. Sometimes it don't. If it doesn't happen, you know, I'm not going to get too upset about it. You don't see me when I lose a big fish stomping and breaking rods and things like that. I just, you know, that's not going to change anything, and it's not going to help you get that fish back. So I learned a long time ago just to worry about the things you can control.
What does it say in y'all's mind that there's a federation anchor sitting with y'all who have put so much time into making the Classic and getting to where y'all are?
Well, why don't we start that with Scott?
What was the question?
We're gonna have to pay attention, Scott.
I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna beat VanDam tomorrow. Mine was somewhere else. I'm sorry.
The question from Andy is, what in your mind, what does it mean to have for the federation to have one of their anglers sitting here on day 2 of the Classic as one of the leaders?
You always see real strong fishermen coming from the federation. I think every year we've had somebody that's been up there in the top 10 from the federation. Usually every day there's one guy in the top 10. So yeah, I mean, it's like he said, it's a learning process to get here. You're gonna learn. It's really prepping a guy to have a fishing career come to the federation. It lets him know what he's in for.
I can tell you, I started in the federation. I tried that route a few times, and it was way too hard to get to the Classic that way, so I joined the Pro Tour.
That's perfect. Another question.
True.
Yes, sir, right over here.
Hi, Pete Robbins, Bassmaster.com. Kevin, you've always said that your strengths are fishing patterns in expansive areas where you had room to move around. Yet the last 2 years, Beeswax Creek, and you've respectively fished a spot. Is it just fishing a spot, or are you fishing a pattern within that spot?
It's a big area. You know, I mean, there's a lot of room there in that area. There's obviously certain parts of it that are better than others, but you know, there's always patterns within patterns. There's always things that, you know, happen in a day that might tip you off to, you know, clues to duplicate bites and things like that. And you just have to, you know, you got to pay real close attention. And you know, I don't think that I'm doing anything any different than anybody else there. But you know, I got lucky and made a couple of the right casts, and you know, had my bait go by the bass that was in the right mood today. So there's a lot of good fish in that area, and you know, I think the pressure has hurt it some, without a doubt. But you know, the fans were really good today. I mean, it's incredible. I mean,
they were about the best I've seen.
Yeah, I've never seen it better in a Classic, ever. You know, I mean, the first thing in the morning in the fog, it was a little hectic for a little bit there because nobody could see anybody, didn't know where anybody was at. But once the fog lifted, You know, they all kind of stayed back, anchored up. I seen guys with binoculars, swapping binoculars from boat to boat. They were talking, you know, they know what we've got on the line. These guys are here to, you know, to watch us. It's, you know, it's unbelievable to have the Super Bowl of bass fishing in your backyard. And I mean, it's no different. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I went to the Super Bowl. I'm a huge fan of the NFL. I mean, to get to go is an honor. And you sure don't want to do anything to affect any of the players on the field. And that's the way these fans have treated us, you know, both days. I mean, they know what we got on the line. There was nobody out there fishing with us today.
Your ability to hunker down and stay in a particular area, the other side of your maturation as a fisherman, would you have been able to do that 15 years ago?
I couldn't have done that a while ago. I've learned, you know, when you watch, or I should say when you get beat by somebody that's, you know, the ultimate hole sitter, you know. I mean, I think early in my career, a guy that was incredible at that was Guido Hibnen. You know, Guido, if you put him in a little creek with 10 bass in it and gave him a little bit of time, he's going to catch all 10 of them. You know, he's going to find a way to do it. I could never do that. But I've learned that when you find a special spot, that it's, you know, it's worth hanging around and grinding it out.
Kevin, what was your biggest fish today, and did you catch fish sort of all day long, and when did your big fish come?
6'3". And you know, it was a grind, but I just, you know, worked at it and one here, one there. There's not like you catch them on, you know, 3 in a row or anything like that. You know, it's not that type of deal.
All of you, how many fish did you catch today?
All right, well, let's start over here with Scott.
I caught more fish today than I did yesterday. I probably caught 15 or 18 today.
I caught more today too.
That was not an exact number. I would like to go on the record and saying that.
Well, yesterday I caught maybe 8 or 10 or 12, and today I caught more.
Still incredibly vague.
Kevin, every year you usually come out with a new bait. Are you fishing a secret lure this year?
No.
Very specific that time, Kevin. Thank you.